I'm going to show you how to get paint out of your clothes. So, unfortunately, I had these brand new Anthropologie pants. They're such a pretty rose color, and I got a little bit of paint on them. I had an apron all the way down to my knees, and where does the paint go? Right below the apron. So there's a little drip here, and that's actually some pouring medium plus the paint. And then I was doing a lot of teaching, and when I teach, I don't like to wear my grubbies, so I wear my teaching clothes and they get paint on them, but I can fix it. So this, I don't even know what this is, but I don't know if you can see that. There's some paint on there, some just crusted. It almost kind of blends in, but it's maybe some brown with some medium. And then on this sweater, or this shirt actually, I don't know if you can see that, but it's just sort of a little shine. So there's no paint color itself. It's just the acrylic medium. So I'm going to use some brush cleaner and restorer to get the paint out of these things. And I've used this so many times. I'm not going to do the test on an inconspicuous area, but I advise you to do that if you've never done this before, because you want to be careful. And not hurt any of your garments. But I've used this stuff on cashmere sweaters and everything. So, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to soak it first. So we'll start with this guy. So I'm just going to take this and I'm going to pour. And one thing too is if there's any way that you can kind of scratch it off. Sometimes the paint doesn't stick into the fabric itself, it's just on the exterior fibers. So well, of course I should have opened this before I started doing it. I am. Okay, that's good because I'll just get a little drizzle. Okay, so I'm going to put that on there, and it's going to need to soak in for a while. So what time is it? It is 12. It's 12:20. So I'm going to come back later and check on that. And I'm going to do the same thing with these. So I want a generous amount on here, and I'm going to pour this on here. This stuff is non-toxic and biodegradable, which is super important to me. I try to avoid all toxic products and do whatever I can to be as careful and as thoughtful of the environmental impact of everything I do. So I eat organic, and I use biodegradable soaps and personal care products and all that. So, alright, I'm putting some on there, and I'm going to leave all this to soak in this little saucer here. I might, just because I want this to work the first time for you guys, so I'm going to put a little extra in there. That might be a little overkill, but I'm just going to let it soak there. Alright, and I'll be back. Okay, so it's been about 45 minutes. Let's see. Yeah, about 45 minutes. So I decided to come out and check and see how things were doing here. So I'm taking, you could do this with your fingernail, but you shouldn't. And I won't because you're watching. So I'm going to take this palette knife, painting knife thing I have. I want a stiff thing, and I'm just going to kind of pick at it and see if the paint's coming off. And I feel like I'm getting some movement here. See if you can see that. Feel like, yep, some of it's dissolved. This one, I checked before I turned on the camera. This, not so much. Little bits coming out of that crevice there, but I want to soak this longer. I still have hope for this, even though the color is a staining color. It's a phthalo blue. That's the news I have to break to you. Different pigments will react differently in the fabric, and there are staining colors, and they will soak in. And even if you get all the acrylic medium out with this cleaner, the color will have sunk into the fibers and bonded to them, and it just doesn't come out. So anyway, I'm going to pour more on here and let it soak longer. Okay, I'm back again. So it's been 2 hours now. It's 2:30. And I'm going to check on this guy. This was the most stubborn one last time. And the thing is when I have stubborn paint on paint brushes, I soak them overnight. So, but look, I hope you can see this. Try and move the angle. It's coming off. Yippee! Gonna get my pants back. Okay. Yeah, see, look at that. That's acrylic. So what I didn't explain before, when I'm talking about medium, all paint is a binder, which in the case of acrylic is acrylic polymer emulsion plus pigment. So even if you hadn't added medium into your paint and you got it on your clothes, you would still have acrylic binder in there, which is the same thing as acrylic medium. So I don't want to ruin the fabric. This pouring medium is the most stubborn of all the mediums, so I'm actually pretty impressed with this. How it's coming up. I think the best thing really is the thumbnail. Good old thumbnail. Okay, I'm getting somewhere. Now this guy, I don't even see what was on there anymore. Feels like it's pretty gone. The thing is, oh here's a bit. Or is that something else? Of course, the fabric, because I poured all this stuff and it's soaked every little drop of it up. I can't find the paint on this. I definitely can't find the paint on this sleeve. This is good. These are good to go. So I'm going to wash these other two items. And I'm going to look for a toothbrush. This is coming off. Look at that. I don't know if you can get a good view of that, but I'm really, really pleased. And I only soaked this for 2 hours. Longer would be better. And I might do that. I might just soak it a bit more and this time put it face down. And I'll leave that. But I am ready to wash the other things. I'm super happy about that. It looks like a lot of this guy came off. Interestingly, it looks like we're gonna get, there's a little wear on the corduroy wales, but it's way better than it was before. I'm very pleased. And I'm back to using my painting knife and sparing my thumbnail, but I think the thumbnail's a little more gentle for this. But look at that. I'm going to just give it another little splash while I'm working on it because it soaked up overnight. It's 8 a.m. the next day. Do a little rubby rub. Wow. I'm so excited. Yay. Are you impressed? I hope you are because I am. I don't know if that looks as good to you as it does in real life. One more thing I wanted to say. So just in general, if you get acrylic paint on your clothes, don't wash them and put them in the dryer until you try and get the paint out, because the heat will set the acrylic paint in such a way that it'll make it harder to get out. Anyway, so this is the stuff I used. It's the Winsor Newton Brush Cleaner and Restorer. I've tried a lot of different products over the years. Everything pretty much that comes my way, I try it out. And I used to use a Kiss Off, which is in a stick. That was pretty good. You'd wet the stain and rub it on and kind of scrape it off, sort of like I just showed you here. This is the best thing I've found and the least, harmful to anything like skin, environment, water, etc. Okay, good luck getting the paint off of your article of clothing.